course, the weather has been so cold and there's nothing better than a nice pot of soup.
Yes.
Right? We're here with Christina Hitchcock, and Christina, you're going to prepare some soup for us. You have so many soup recipes, but you picked one that you think everyone will love. What is it?
Well, this is my personal favorite too.
Great.
It's a pasta fagioli, right? So an Italian style soup with pasta and beans and some meat, and it's really a copycat of that chain Italian restaurant.
Okay.
That we all know and love.
Yes.
So this is like a copycat version of their pasta fagioli soup.
All right, well, let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I have a nice big soup pot here. I'm going to add some ground beef. And I have an 80-20 mix here.
Nice.
And we're gonna break it down.
So do we want it almost like taco style, or do we want a little more chunks in it?
Yeah, a little more chunks. You don't
Okay.
want it too fine. And then I'm just going to season that up. I like to season every layer as I go. So this is my all-purpose seasoning.
So we just have to brown this up.
Yep, we're gonna brown this and let it do its thing.
All right.
So while that's doing its thing over here, I'm going to begin preparing the vegetables. So I have some celery, carrots, an onion, and some garlic that we're going to get chopped up and ready for our next step. So I'm just going to start by peeling the carrots. I like to get that layer off there. Now, if you wanted to leave the peel on, that's entirely up to you.
Okay.
But I would scrub them really good.
We use like 3 or 4 carrots?
Yeah, I have 4 here because these are small ones. It really depends on the size. Okay, so carrots are done. I'm just going to do the same with 3 stalks of celery here. And again, you just want to wipe this down with a damp paper towel to remove any dirt that's still on there.
Right.
Now we're going to chop up some onion. So our vegetables are almost done. I'm just going to get a couple cloves of garlic going here. And the easiest way I found to peel it is to smash it. Or you could chop off the little hard end and then smash it, and then the peel comes off so super easy.
And how much garlic did you use, you said?
I'm using 4 cloves here, so whatever. If you don't like it, don't add it. If you're like me, add more.
All right, everything's chopped up and ready. What's next?
So I removed the ground beef from the pot, and I left a little bit of fat in there because we're going to use that as the fat to cook our veg.
Okay.
So do you want to transfer our chopped vegetables into the pot?
Sure, absolutely. You can hear everything starting to sizzle.
All in there.
All right.
Fantastic. I'm just going to put a little bit of my all-purpose seasoning in on that. That'll help bring some of the liquid out.
Okay.
All right, so our vegetables are softening up nicely. I'm gonna add a little bit of some seasoning here. So I have some crushed red pepper. So this is gonna give it just a nice little zip, not too much. And then I'm gonna add some Italian seasoning blend. And I like to add this now because it'll allow the flavors of the herbs to bloom when they're cooking in the fat. So now we're going to really start assembling our soup. So we're gonna put our beef back in and any juices that accumulate. I'm gonna add a bay leaf. We're going to add 2 types of beans. I have cannellini beans and I have red kidney beans. So both of those and the juice goes in.
Right, okay.
And then I'm gonna add some tomatoes. So my recipe calls for diced tomatoes. I'm using crushed because my husband doesn't like big chunks of tomato in his soup. So this is like a completely flexible recipe.
Right.
I'm just doing the crushed. And then last but not least, I'm going to add some chicken stock. I like to use the low sodium so that I can control what goes into it.
True.
Same thing with the beans, if you can get low sodium beans. And we're gonna let this simmer for a while till all our vegetables soften up and all the flavors come together. This will probably be about 15-20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And while this is happening, I'm going to put some pasta on to boil.
Okay.
For the pasta in our pasta fagioli. I like to use ditalini pasta for this.
I know some soups have to cook all day, but this
Yeah,
does not.
no, this is like just about a 30-minute recipe. So you
Nice.
could make this after a busy day of
Love
work
it.
and come home and have a nice hearty bowl of soup.
Well, the soup's all ready and everything looks great.
Yeah, so I like to keep the pasta separate from the soup because if you keep it in the soup, it'll get mushy, you know, especially if you're going to store it afterwards.
Well, speaking of storing, is this a good soup to freeze?
Oh, absolutely. This freezes so perfectly if it lasts that long.
Right.
The other thing I want to say is make sure you fish that bay leaf out that we put in there earlier.
Okay.
But I just serve it up with the pasta and then nice big.
Look at that, steaming hot soup.
I know.
Oh,
This is definitely one of my favorites.
perfect.
Now we're not quite done yet. We have one more thing to add.
Oh, okay.
A nice healthy grate
Oh,
of
come on.
Parmesan
this is too good to be
cheese.
true.
right? Like just like at the Italian restaurant. Tell me when.
Yes. Yeah. when.
So this recipe, as well as hundreds more, are available on my website, itisakeeper.com. I share lots of easy recipes that anyone can make.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, Christina. We always have a good time when we stop by, and we're going to try this soup a little bit later, right?
You want to cool us down a little bit.
Absolutely. Thanks, Christina.
Thanks, Jackie.
You're welcome.